Alhamdulillah. And of course, we're gonna go into a little bit more about that. You know how you've this has worked out for you, even though you've had a really hectic schedule. But brothers, if you're watching here, Alhamdulillah, this is actually something I didn't even ask for. Isa popped up to me and said, "You know what? Why haven't I done something for you like this? You know?" And Isa here, Alhamdulillah, who's 28 years old. He had a newborn child when he actually joined the program, and he works in healthcare, and he lives in Australia, and he knows that there's a lot of fitna days. He's got a big dream of making hijrah. And alhamdulillah, since he's coming to the program, he's always been in close contact with me, and that's very, very key. But we're going to go into a much more deeper dive of, his experiences, his thoughts, his perception about everything about this industry and about the program. So, alhamdulillah, Isa, jazakallah khairan for offering your time today. And I really, really hope the
Oh
brothers
yeah.
really see the light, not just in this industry, not just in this industry, but there's a lot of information overload today, and there's lots of people talking about programs. So first and foremost, Akhi, the question that I really want to start off with is, what really caught your eye about high ticket sales?
The most important thing for me was to get flexibility because my plan is to make Hijrah. And with high ticket sales, you have two things. One is that you can do it remote, which many fields you can't work remote. And two, if it's a skill based and a performance based industry. So instead of just sitting there relying on your boss to pay you, do the same work day after day. If you do well one day, you do poorly another day, you get paid the same after a fortnight or after a week. Whereas in high ticket sales, it's based on how much effort you put in, and you can hone your skills, and you become better and better each passing week, and you earn more because of that.
Alhamdulillah. No, you're right, and it's a performance-based role means first and foremost, y- obviously there's a lot of business models right now, and we call it a business model, but this isn't actually a business model. This is one of the few, if probably the only one, where you can take an entrepreneurial route, but you don't have to set up a business. Like you are the business, right? You're the appointment setter. So it's based on your results. It's based on your performance. So it's not like you have to put capital in like econ, right? You don't need to have a range of different skills like in marketing and in product development and things like that. So it's actually probably the only industry that I know where you don't have to set up an actual business and actually have capital for it, right? Alhamdulillah. So I can see why you really saw the real halal high income potential in it. Alhamdulillah. So, of course, I know you've been in the program for about 3 4 months now, around that time. Um, so what actually made you say yes to this in the first place? What really enticed you? Because I know you said you've had a dip into the market, and you've invested in courses before, and we'll get to like what really stood out for you in terms of the difference between our program and the programs that you've been on. But what actually made you say yes? Going back to that first call that we had, and we had a really deep discussion as well.
The thing is, the most important thing on the first call was that you weren't pushing me into a sale because I was sort of already 50-50 ready to buy. I think you already said a few right things at the start. And if I recall in the call, I might have mentioned something like, okay, halas, let's do it. But you were like, nah, Aki, I want to actually show you what we do. I really want to, because I believe in this program and I want to show you how we can benefit you and what impact it can do for you and whether this can even work for you. So it was almost like you were pushing me back, sort of like, hey, just wait a second, bro. I know
Yeah,
you're
yeah, I
keen,
like that.
but like a lot of programs, it's like, halas, they're ready to buy, take the money and go. But you were like, no, 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 this your money means a lot, so you need to put it in the right place, and you need to actually understand what this can do for you. So I really
Yeah.
appreciated that sincerity and that genuine approach that you took, and wanting to show me everything first to make me see whether it's worth it for me or not.
Yeah, and you know what? Alhamdulillah, I don't even call it. I don't even like to call it a sales call. Sometimes, people get this fear or this wrong perception about it, and it's a misconception. Today in sales is known to be to be a very salesy kind of space. Where people just are money hungry or have their ulterior motives. But Alhamdulillah, we it's very important that we take that consistent approach with everyone, because everyone does talk about being the right fit for you, but it's when you actually understand someone's situation. And we even discussed some things about your family and your commitments. And not long after you had your newborn child, and even then
Yes, that's true.
we decided that after kind of taking those facts in, that it could still work for you, because like you said, it's very, very flexible, because you work about 12 to 20 hours a week, and if that, sometimes even 25, depending on the role that you get, but typically 12 to 20 hours. So alhamdulillah. And of course, just recently, alhamdulillah, Allah barik, you work in healthcare, and lo and behold, you actually landed a role in healthcare, which was
Alhamdulillah.
an outbound DM setting role. And that actually ties in with the flexibility that it's giving you, because we were having a quick discussion before, and you're telling me how amazing it was, how you can't really do this in other industries. So tell us, like, how did the program actually help you land your current role?
The biggest thing is two things I can think of. One is the constant inflow of jobs. Like brothers don't realize how much opportunity is out there. But at the end of the day, if you can't access the opportunity, it doesn't mean anything. You can have the best skills in the world, but if you don't know how to, succeed in an interview, or if you don't know how to access the jobs that are out there, it doesn't mean anything. However, this brother Aqib, he has been relentless, pushing me, coaching me with the interview, helping me understand the role better, such that when I went into the interview, I did really well. Alhamdulillah, something I'm new to sales. I'm not even, I have a healthcare background, but I did well in the interview, and I convinced the interviewer that I can perform very well here, and that that I can make a big difference and make an impact in the business. And it's about showing them that I can bring value to the business rather than just trying to be desperate for a job. So I actually came into the interview with a lot of status, where I may not have done that if I just done it off my own back.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Barakallah feek for sharing that, Akhi. And I really wanted to touch on something,
Thank
because
you.
you mentioned it quite a few times now. Yeah, Akhi, this is a it's a day, it's a big difference in the courses that I've been. And I'm not going to mention the price here, but I remember you still saying in one of your comments, like, that the price is an absolute steal. Like, it's like someone robbing you.
SubhanAllah.
And you had to be absolutely touched. But what would you say has really stood out? Because it's fair to say that that we've developed it even more now. But what stood out to you compared to other programs you've been on?
Well, you have two sort of ways to deliver education. You have a course type delivery, and you have a mentorship type. And people don't fully understand what the difference is between a course and just a mentorship. A course, they'll give you the information, they'll give you the curriculum and the materials, and then it's sort of up to you to go about it. Whereas with a mentorship, you have one to one. They're going to check in on you. They're going to see how you're doing. But Akib, he has something where he just over delivers. He follows up. You have brotherhood chats. You have weekly calls, on many bi-weekly calls, tri-weekly calls. And if that's not enough for you, you can go and contact the brother personally. So having that one-to-one access with the mastermind of the course, tell me where you're going to find that. Where can you sort of access? For example, you go to a university, can you access the tutor at odd hours of the night? He's going to tell you to get lost. He's going to say I'm off the clock.
No, I appreciate it, Akhi. Thank you for your kind words. And alhamdulillah, Akhi, Isa here has actually been a fuel in motivating me and helping me even, continue in the same conduct and manner, because we have regular conversations. I was just saying to him that, you're not just a student and I'm just a coach. We've created a brotherhood, but specifically between us,
Alhamdulillah.
we give each other nasiha sometimes, and we make dua for each other. We have a conversation outside of high ticket sales sometimes. Sometimes we get talking about random things as well. So it's not just a student and a mentorship type of relationship, and that goes for all the students here, and that's why we've created that brotherhood. So yeah,
So
so I
I
appreciate
had
it.
one more thing to add. Sorry about that.
And
Is actually with regards to the value. Subhanallah, this brother, what he's charging. I'm not going to mention the price either, but people pay thousands of dollars. You guys have to understand, to get one-to-one coaching to develop their skills, right? It's usually a whole separate program. To learn the skills of anything is one skill. To then develop that from beginner into senior and into mastering that is a whole other thing. But this course is combining the two, and I didn't think I'm pretty sure I wasn't even paying for that, so I'm just getting extra free value. Subhanallah, and
yeah,
it's not
no,
just me. He's not singling me out. Subhanallah, any brother who reaches out to him and puts in the effort, Aqib is willing to come with double the effort that they put in.
I very much appreciate it. And you know what? You touched on something very, very important. And this is not me boasting. This is not me, not. Well, I'm telling all the brothers here, and just like you said it, I'm telling them how it is, because you're totally right. When it comes to a group type of mentorship, yes, you probably be charged around maybe 1 to 3K or something like that. But when it comes to direct access one to one, to actually sit
Yes,
with you, spend time with you every single week, and have the availability to book one to ones with me at any time, at any given point, that goes towards the 5K, 6K price point. So I'm really happy that you shared that, and that's the really. I'm not here to boast. I just want people to see the real value in what we're doing at the moment, and the mission is to help the Muslims. So whether we're spending time,
inshallah.
if the Muslims are serious, then we're also serious. Alhamdulillah. Uh, and one of the other things that I also wanted to touch on, because we've had some discussions about some light discussions about what you're doing behind the scenes. Of course, you've got a job and you've got a little one to look after. You've got a marriage to uphold, and you manage to secure a role. And here, it's just upwards and onwards from there, because we always talk about that first role is the start of the beginning. But going back to your umrah business, something that you've been planning to do, and I just want to ask the question of how has this program and sales in itself changed you? Because I know you've got plans for umrah, and we've had some discussions about it as well.
Alhamdulillah. One thing that Aqib mentioned early on is that sales and being able to speak to people is a skill that applies to everything. So I know you didn't even mention it, but it can benefit your marriage, brothers. This is one big thing which it has done for me. Okay, subhanAllah. And another thing is with my Umrah business is knowing how to sell. One thing that I struggle with, I've run one trip. Alhamdulillah, it was a successful trip, but I missed a lot of hot prospects, hot leads, because I had no idea what to say to them. I was just reading off like, well, we do this, rather than asking them questions, rather than knowing and understanding why they want to buy, why they're interested in this service, right? So that's done a massive thing. The second thing, again, he hasn't mentioned it, subhanAllah. So this is, I just love to mention beneficial things. The network this brother has, you guys don't understand. You're
All
gonna
from Allah, all from
I've picked
Allah.
up so many things. Allah Akbar. Like literally, I've got a marketer now who's amazing. Like he's doing so much fantastic work for me, and I got it through Aqib's network. Because one of the brothers in the chat linked me up. All of this for free, by the way. Normally, getting referrals and stuff, it's a big deal. You have to go and prove yourself. All of this is for free. So now I'm on track to hopefully launching two trips. One for either end of December, January, and one for Ramadan, inshallah ta'ala, next year, and it's going to be a massive
Alhamdulillah.
scale up from what I'm doing. So, alhamdulillah, it's opened so many doors, honestly.
Allah Barik, Allah Barik. May Allah bless you, Akhi. May Allah
I mean,
continue
I
to,
mean,
to bless you and open more doors for you, Akhi. Because I was very, very happy for you as well. And a lot of people will be thinking, oh, wow, like you've got a job, you've secured a role in healthcare as well with us, you've got the Umrah business, but it's the flexibility. It's
exactly.
doable. It's doable as long as you stay disciplined. And that's why, of course, remote sales, it takes some qualities to get into it. And when you build those qualities, it just becomes a snowball effect, really. Alhamdulillah. So, what the last question I want to ask you, Akhi, and we know there's brothers here watching. What would you say to someone, because we know Muslims today, they're hesitant, they have doubts, they have fears, they have that fear to invest. Oh, it could be a scam. Oh, you know what? Everyone talks about it, and I don't sell it as a get rich quick scheme. But what would you say to someone who's hesitant, who's watching here, they're scared to invest, or they just simply don't see themselves as that risk taker?
One of the things I would say is, hopefully, all the things that we've discussed so far, you can start to understand who Aqib is and what he's going to give you. But brothers, be realistic. If you were to look at completing a university degree, how much are you actually willing to put down? Are you going to be able to pay it upfront and not take a loan and get into riba? Are you going to, be able to put the time that takes full-time commitment? And even then, you're not guaranteed to land a job. You have
Yeah.
to start off in an entry-level role. So don't have a double standard with sales and other skills. That's what I would sincerely advise you. Aqib's program is a fantastic program, but you're still going to have to put in the hard work. You're still going to start off as a beginner, be humble, and work your way up. What you won't get in university is once you got the degree, you walk away from it. You're not going to get ongoing support. Whereas in this program, you will get that support. You're going to, through your job. He even has in his course after the job how to secure the role after securing the role. Subhanallah, very very beneficial. Which basically means how to excel in the role, how to really stand out from the crowd, and that actually sort of shoots you forward ahead of the rest and jumpstarts your career. So you're not just crawling forward at snail pace. You can speed it up and you can like start getting into the top 10% within a couple of years if you really want to do that.
Alhamdulillah, Isa. Well, Akhi, I can't ask you any more questions, because I think you've probably just covered everything that you probably wanted to cover. But you know what?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, we're here to show the brothers that this is real. We're here to show the brothers that there is a high income potential, and we're also here to show the brothers that, look, you don't need to necessarily leave your job. You don't necessarily need to sacrifice your commitments to actually come into an industry, kickstart your journey towards a very high income for yourself. And it's all about financial freedom. And what does financial freedom give us? It gives us time and ability to do what matters the most, the Deen. Eventually exit out of your 9 to 5 job and take this on full time, where you can reach deeper goals like Hijrah, which me and Isa, you'd be happy to know, brothers, that we're both planning for as well. Alhamdulillah. So,
Inshallah ta'ala, yes.
Akhi, Barakallah Feek. I know the brothers will
Barakallah.
really, really enjoyed it. I'm sure they have. And inshallah, our program's growing. And inshallah, we're going to see more growth from yourself. And they'll, inshallah,